Hey, Oliver. So I asked you guys a while back for some dating questions, and I'm going to be answering some of those questions. I will not be answering some of those questions too, because some of them were bad, and you should feel bad because you're bad at asking questions. But some of them were pretty good, and hopefully I don't get too hung up on some of them, and I hope I answer them to the best of my ability. And if I don't answer yours and you feel like it was a good question, I'll probably do this again. So ask it again, and I'll hopefully get to it the next time. So let's see here. I did this on Twitter and Facebook. I didn't do it on Instagram. I have a lot of you on Instagram. I was worried it was going to be too many people asking questions. So if you're following me on Instagram, you should probably check me out on Twitter and Facebook for that kind of stuff. So let's see, what do we got here for questions? How do you slowly turn a guy emo without his realization? Don't do that. Just don't. Don't try to change someone to be something else. And certainly do not try to do it slowly or without their realization. If you want to have fun with someone and if you want to give them a makeover, do that. If you're dating someone and you're like, hey, you know, it'd be fun, why don't we dress up? That's a cool date idea. Get some outfits together that you want them to wear, get some outfits that they want you to wear, and go back and forth, changing and trying stuff on, and take pictures and have fun. That's a thing you can do. So if you want to dress them up in one way and do that, if you want them to act a certain way or be a certain way, you're dating the wrong person. Don't try to change anyone that you're dating. But I think you could show them that there's different looks, and it might be fun for you to do sometime, and then that might be a thing that you do together, so you can try that. So I love my goth outfits, but I'm always afraid to wear them on a new date. Any advice on how to get over that? I'm not sure how to tell you how to get over it other than to do it. I think you should just do it. If it's something that you feel is holding you back, you really have to do it. You have to find a way to feel more comfortable expressing yourself in the way that you like. If you like wearing it, you need to do that. You really do. I would say go on a date with someone you don't care about. And maybe that's the one thing you could do, is try dating people that you're not that interested in, but you're just trying to be social. Someone who they're okay, and that way you can try dressing like that on a date with them, and maybe you'll get more comfortable over the time. I mean, everyone has their own path and their own way of doing things, so I don't know what will make you more comfortable. I don't know what is holding you back from not doing it, but I think that's important to do, though. I mean, if that's how you want to be, then you need to be that and feel that comfortableness in yourself, so when you're on a date, that they're dating someone who's expressing and being comfortable with who they are, and then you can really connect, and you can connect with someone that is representing who they are too. That's what we all want eventually. So I would say not to date people that you're really super interested in if you're not finding a comfort zone that you're, that the gray, whatever, the compromising. If you have to compromise something, you want to find that happy medium, basically. So, because sometimes you don't want to. I know when to and when not to. I wouldn't go to jury duty like this. So you have to find that happy medium in yourself, or just go to jury duty like this. Maybe I'm wrong. Do what works for you, and it's hard for me to answer that because I don't know what works for you. I don't know what you're doing now, but that's my advice, is to maybe go on dates that you're kind of just kind of curious about, and try it to see if it breaks you into it. So what do we got here? Guy I like, says he has commitment issues. Okay, don't date him then. Yet gets jealous when I talk to other people. Yeah, don't date him. And he doesn't want me to leave. What do I do? Leave him? It's pretty simple. That's a guy you don't date. He's not emotionally and socially mature, or at a level that you're comfortable with. You just don't date that person. I don't have much advice for that, because we don't try to change people. You just don't date those people. If you want to go out with someone, Where do you think the best place would be to take them out to, especially if it's your first date? Depends how well you know the person. If there's a lot of people do online dating or just a friend of a friend kind of stuff. If you don't really know them, I think coffee shop, like a dinery type place, even a bar, a place that you've been to or you're familiar with, especially if you don't really know the person. Like tell someone that you know where you're gonna be, but somewhere where you can just keep things really casual, like that the bill's not gonna be high. Like if you want the date to be over, you need to be willing to just be like, you know what, here's 10, $20, I'm gone. Don't make them pay, even if you don't like it. Just because you don't like the date doesn't mean they're a bad person. So remember that. But yeah, somewhere where you just have one drink and like coffee's good, things to go, things where you can just bail, or things where it's just super. It can end anytime because maybe you want to go on a real date during that date. You never know how it's going to go. I've had that happen. I've been on dates. I'm like, this is going great. Let's go somewhere else because we were just having like pie and coffee. I'm like, well, let's go do something because I'm into you and you're into me. So we've established that. But I would say that just keep it low key, keep it somewhere where other people are gonna be. Do not go over to anyone's place on a first date. That's a big no. If they ask, don't date that person. I think I like this guy, but I'm not sure. How do I know if it's really love? This isn't really a dating question. And I'm gonna say you probably don't love him if you have to ask me. I shouldn't be your emotional compass on this one. How can I tell if they want to go out with you? You ask them out, and if they say yes, they want to go out with you. Most people don't lie about that. Do you want to go out with me? No. That'll fool them. Let's see. Is it possible to find love without leaving the house? Yes, because you just answered me on social media. So you have connections to the internet and being social at all ever. I mean, do I really? Yeah, you can do it. You can absolutely fall in love with whatever weird catfish person is out there that's trying to get you to fall in love with them. I would recommend leaving the house and meeting the person because those are like the better relationships, are the ones that you meet up with. So let's see here. Do you take your wedding ring off before meeting your Tinder date? Absolutely. Absolutely, every time. You have to give that illusion that you're single. Like you can't leave that on. Like that's gonna blow your cover. Second date you can wear it like as a joke. First date, no. A lot of you are asking about first dates, like what's the perfect first date, what's a great first date idea. This all depends on the two people that are going on the date. Like, if you don't know what you want to do on a date, if you don't know how to communicate, I like communicating with people. I like talking to people. So I don't like doing activities. I love movies, but I think a movie's a bad first date for me. But some people think it's a good first date. Like, I'm not sure how people would respond to my idea of seeing a movie, which is where I talk through it. Like, yeah, I'm that guy that talks through it. I try not to do it when there's other people around. I try to do it at like in the back, away from people. But I riff on things. Like I grew up with that. So I don't know how someone who doesn't really know me would handle that in a date environment where I'm just like making fun of the movie, which I love movies. Like I make fun of them. Even my favorite movies, probably my favorite movies more than anything. But that's not a good like environment to get to know someone. I like to get to know someone and have like a back and forth. But maybe you want to do something like you want to play pool or darts or something where there's like an activity going on because that's what you like to do. That's how because some people are social when they're eating. Some people are social when they're active. Some people are social when they're not looking at each other, so they like the movies. They like the not being face to face. So you have to find what works for you. Learn what environments you are most social in because you want to get to know the person and be the type of person that you're going to be around them. Like you want to get away from being nervous. So that's the best date idea. The problem is the compromise is how you work might not be how they work. So you have to find these kind of, as I was kind of talking about, like how to dress, like the happy medium of of what can overlap and everything. How often do you go Dutch on the first, second, third dates? All the time? I mean, I think we live in a society that needs to break free from the idea that it's a man's job to do this, it's a man's job to do that. And that goes for dating. If it's a man's job to ask someone out for a first date, man, you are not my type. I want someone who breaks free of gender roles. I think every woman out there should make it a point to not let a man be in control and pay. Going Dutch, is, if you don't know what going Dutch is, that's where you split it. You split the check, you go 50-50. It's, I don't know where that term came from. I wish I could have looked that up beforehand. But the idea that you pay your own way, I think that's great. I think more women should try to pay the man's way. Women are doing really well these days. The generations are shifting as women are getting older. More of them are getting college degrees. More of them are making more and more money. And I think they should show it, and you should really be in control and ask men out, pay for the dates, and really throw them for a loop. If they're not comfortable with that, don't date them. How can you find out if they're uncomfortable with those things if you don't try? So I think that you absolutely, ladies and men, if you're not comfortable with a woman paying for you, don't date anyone. Just stop dating. We don't need more of you in the world. I think most people should be ready to pay their own way, because dating shouldn't be transactional. If you're going out on a date and you're expecting someone to buy you stuff, fuck you. Yeah, harsh language, but I feel like I shouldn't have said that. But, no, seriously though, like, you're going out on dates to potentially meet people, get in a relationship, grow, see how you connect. You're not there to get free stuff. They're not there to give you free stuff. That's not what this is. I would much, much rather buy a homeless person food than just some date. I don't really do that anymore. Like, I've been on so many dates, I used to pay. I've just decided, you know what, this isn't what this is. The best thing for me is to get to know someone and find out if they're even worth my time, let alone my money. That's how I feel. If you don't agree, fine. But I think the activity, whatever you're doing, should be something you'd be willing to do on your own. The food, the drink, whatever else. And that you should be there and be able to support yourself doing it. So that's why you would go Dutch, 50-50, whatever. Because if the only reason you're doing it is because they're paying, then you're not there to be with the person. So, I mean, you should be two people doing the same thing, and you're both there taking care of yourselves, and you're just doing it together because you want to get to know each other. I feel like I touched on a really hot button issue there just now, but I don't know. I believe in breaking gender roles, and I find that is actually really important. I feel like not enough people, we cherry pick sometimes what gender roles we want and don't want, and there's some that are never going to change. Like, men are never going to birth babies, but we can definitely show men that women can do a lot more. So show men that they're kind of ready to be put in their place. Throwing a man off guard is a good idea too, because if he's always on guard, I feel like cutting all of that. Now I'm going to leave it in. Maybe some of that I would correct myself on, but I do really believe and just you're there for the thing, and then you're there, whatever if you're there to play pool, you're there for pool, and you're with someone else who you're gonna play pool with and get to know them. If you can't pay for the pool, you shouldn't be there doing that. Let's see what else we got. How do you get out of a date as soon as you see your blind date? Go to the bathroom and don't come back. I feel like that's, in a movie it's easy. You just get up and go and have a bathroom. they'll probably just continue watching the movie, hopefully. After how many dates should you go on before inviting someone to participate in ritual sacrifice? It's always awkward to ask too soon. I think you should casually mention stuff like that in conversation prior to it and see gauge their interest, because you don't want them to be completely weirded out. But if you start kind of like peppering in that kind of dialogue before you just drop the bomb on them, be like, well, that's something I did like last summer, and then you can see how they want to go from there. Is bathing really necessary? No, it's not, because not everyone has a sense of smell. That's the right partner for you, is someone who can't smell you. That would be great for me, because I smell bad. Comment your date's beautiful eyes, yeah or nay. Don't get hung up on your date's looks. Nobody wants to just be complimented for their looks over and over and over again. I mean, their sense of style is one thing, if what they decided to wear, and then you can go into that. But you can compliment their eyes if you actually like them. If they have ugly eyes, don't compliment their ugly eyes. If they have ugly eyes, maybe tell them. Like, maybe they'll be like, hey, whoa, your eyes are ugly. Is it a good idea to start dating again if you hate people and like a lot of solitude? Yeah, I would say it's okay to start dating. Just start dating yourself. How do I get someone to notice me? Asking more creative questions than that. You're lucky I did. Let's be honest. Is there anything I missed? Like, I thought there was a good one I had. I think that might be all of them that I wanted to do. There's definitely more, but I'm skipping a lot of them, because some of them they're not really questions. But yeah, and a lot of you asked about the first date idea. Some of you are just like giving advice. How do you survive a long distance relationship when you are thousands of miles away from one another and a border is separating you? Find a way to make it not long distance ASAP or end the relationship. That's really the only way. You can't do that to yourselves. You have to either, well, yeah. I mean, I think you need to assess both of your living situations. If one of you like is going to school, and that's where you're going to school, and one of you has like a job somewhere else, look at when your lives are going to reconvene, and just have marks of when you're going to see each other, calendar dates, or look into having one relocate to the other, or end it. And nobody wants to hear that. I think I've said things to the effect of end it, don't do it, don't date them. And I think a lot of people don't want to hear that. And sometimes that's the reality is you might really like someone, but they're just not going to fit into your life in the way that you want them to or the way that they want to. There's two of you. Oh, I did want to answer this one. How many first dates have you had? That's not a dating advice question. It was a question to me, I think. I've had a lot of first dates. It's a gross number. Like, it's kind of gross, like how many first dates I've had. That's why I like doing dating advice stuff, because I've honestly been on, I want to say like over 100 first dates. It's a lot. I'm a serial. There was a time I remember every now and then it would be like in 1 week I would go on like 4 or 5 dates. 4 or 5 different people in one date in 1 week. And that would happen once every 6 months. I'd just be like, I'm just going to date all these people. And then just dating casually and stuff. So I've dated quite a bit. None of them have ever stuck. So there's that. But I've done a lot of dating, a lot of first dating. And I hope to do more advice. I hope this was helpful for people. I hope it was good for you. It's good for me. And thank you. I hope we'll maybe I'll do some more in-depth answers next time. And thank you for checking out. I guess you could comment questions for the next video, the next dating advice video in the comments. Like if you had future questions, and I'll follow up and let me know what you want to know, and I'll let you know what I think.